So I'm busy working out right now. I'm doing Adrian Bryant is his name. He has some really great workouts on YouTube. Find one of his videos and do it. Adrian Hall. Look him up, find one. Adrian Bryant. Adrian Bryant. I'm doing for quick weight loss my bike workout, Better Than Spin and Soul Cycle. And what I'm doing, I'm riding my bike for so long, and then I have a rest period in between. And I am going to do this for 30 minutes. Now, I started off with 5 minutes. Like I said, if you haven't exercised in a long time, you can break your exercise up in increments. I started with 5 minutes. So I've done 5 minutes worth of exercise, and I'm cooking in between, and I will run back and forth doing exercises this evening. And that's how I'm going to spend my evening because I didn't get to go into the gym. Today I had a good day. Today was a regular keto eating day with a 16-hour fast for me. I did my fast and I've had my meals, and I had some really good meals today, and these were keto meals. Since I wasn't feeling really good, I wanted to just get a little bit more carbs in today. So I am doing alternating days as far as my meal plan goes. I'm doing protein sparing, modified fasting 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In between, I follow that with 18-hour and 16-hour fast. And then I have a regular keto day and I have a regular OMAD day. My meal plan has been going well so far. I've been eating some good foods, nutritious foods. I'm anxious to see how much weight I'm going to lose this month. So right now I'm in the process of cooking my dinner, and I am making some flank steak, and I'm using my Instant Pot. And with that, I believe I'm going to make a little bit of gravy, some keto gravy with that tonight. And then I've got to find me a good vegetable, a good green vegetable. This morning for breakfast, I had a really good meal, and it was, I think it was a pretty good sized meal. I don't even really remember, but I'm going to go ahead and review what I ate today with the Carb Manager. Just a moment. So my carbohydrate intake today is a little bit more than the 10 grams that are allowed. But that's okay. My fat, it's pretty close to 30 already, but my protein is low, so I'm going to add in some more protein. It just so happens that the meat that I have has some fat on it, quite a bit of fat, so I'm going to have to cut that fat off because I don't want to get as much fat into my macros. Also, I want to find a good vegetable to eat with my meal today, a good green leafy vegetable. So I may just run over to the store and get some asparagus or something like that. When I do the keto days, that's where I usually run into the problem, because I want to have leafy green vegetables on those days, or non-starchy vegetables such as Brussels sprouts, different things like that. And that's where you get a lot of carbs from eating vegetables. So on those days, on those keto days, sometimes I run into a problem of keeping my carbs down because I don't want to eat. I'm still eating a lot of protein on those days, but I'm also limiting my carbs at that same time. Eating meats will help you keep your carbohydrate intake down because meats don't contain a lot of carbohydrates. So that is why high protein eating works so good when you are doing the ketogenic diet. Remember that meats don't contain a lot of carbs, and if you're running into some meats that contain a lot of carbs, it's because it's more than likely a processed meat, and you should stay away from those anyway. Now, you can eat processed meats sometimes, but you want to keep that carb count low, 1 carb, maybe 2 carbs or less, but you don't want to eat a lot of processed meats. especially those that have a lot of carbohydrates and all this other different junk in them. So what I started doing also this week was weighing myself daily, because it's been fluctuating so much that I felt like maybe for this month I'm going to weigh myself daily every morning, to keep track of how my weight does fluctuate. That's something that I know that it does fluctuate, and it fluctuates a lot sometimes it fluctuates a lot at different times. So this month I'm going to keep track of that. I started that on my board today. um, I'm going to go in and go over my board with you to show you, kind of where I'm at and everything and how it's been fluctuating. And I'm going to start just having a countdown from there. Um, like when I'm swollen, like I have had inflammation, I haven't been able to get my rings off. But I do notice that today the inflammation has went down quite a bit, and I'm actually able to take my rings off and on. You see how that was swollen? And that was this one, and it's usually very, very loose. This one is still kind of loose, so this one is okay. But I usually tell if I have inflammation by the way that my rings fit, and you can do the same. Also, as my food is cooking, I'm making extra so that I can put something in the refrigerator. And this can be almost like a small meal prep to have some meat that's ready in the refrigerator for sandwiches. Also tonight I'm going to make some sandwich bread, from the protein bread. And I may do a video on that, and then I may not, because there's someone who wants to know step by step, once again, how to do the protein bread. There are a lot of recipes out there on YouTube as far as how to do the protein bread, and it's really very, very easy to make, and it comes in so handy. For me, it's a game changer because I know I can have bread now and that it's less than half a carb. And then if I want to have like a slice of angel food cake, that is a carb. So these are some really, really great desserts and everything that you can have now. Once you learn how to make this protein bread, you can make a lot of different foods out of this one recipe just by adding different things. So it's handy. The lady that who I first heard about this protein bread was Maria Emmerich, and she has a YouTube channel. You can go there to Maria mindbodyhealth.com and go to her recipe section and just Google angel food cake or Google protein bread or Google pizza crust or Google Dutch baby pancakes. She has a lot of low carb recipes that are bread recipes made with no flour. She uses mostly egg white, protein and egg whites. And so you know that they are good dishes. You know that they are low carb. And they are so easy to make. So this is what I use a lot of now since I have learned how to make the protein breads. I've learned how to make the protein cakes and different things like that. This is what I use. The other morning I've had like grilled cheese sandwiches. I've had hamburgers made with this. I've had sandwiches, just sandwiches made with this bread. Makes so much difference, and it takes away so much of the calorie count and the carb count from the bread. Now I know a lot of people still will be using those keto breads and different things like that, and if these work for you, that's okay. But if you're really, really serious about losing weight and controlling your carbs and getting the best from your macros on your days that you want to get your carbs really, really low, you'll try this recipe for the protein bread by Maria Emmerich or others, because it all should be low carb if they're using the egg whites and egg protein. Also, exercise. Make sure that you're putting exercise into your day, no matter how. No matter how. If you can get out and get you a walk, get out and get you a walk. If you have time to get on your exercise bicycle, get on your exercise bicycle. Use your kettlebell, lift weights, run, go to the gym, use the exercise machine, use the ropes. Do whatever you can do to get healthier. And you're going to feel better. You're going to feel better if you move your body. You're going to feel better if you get some steps in. You really are. You're just going to feel better. A lot of people feel that because you're over the age of 60 or over the age of 50 that you can't lose weight. You can. You can lose weight. Weight loss may be a little bit slower, but you can still lose weight. And you can do it at a steady pace. You can do it, you can do it at your pace. Okay? Just make up your mind. Make up your mind. And if you're just starting on your weight loss journey, and you're just joining me for the first time on my channel, I'd like to say that I'm glad that you're here. This is about my weight loss journey. I've already lost over 130 pounds during the ketogenic diet and using intermittent fasting, walking, and exercise. I have added in a few more tools to my weight loss journey to help me lose weight because I've been on a plateau for quite a while. And I started doing protein-sparing modified fasting diet. And I add that in 3 days a week right now. And I'm having some good results. I feel like I'm getting smaller. I feel like I'm losing inches. I did measure last week, and I believe I lost something like 4 inches during the month. And that was just using the diet for about a week, a little over a week. And I was having results already. So I'm anxious to see what type of results I am going to have for this month. Now, last month I got my scale moving in the right direction, and I lost a total of, it was 8 pounds, but I gained 2 back, so 6 pounds. After you do the protein-sparing modified fasting, they say do it for no more than 3 days per week. And if you do it for 3 days, then you have to have a refeeding day because your body needs a little bit more carbs, I guess, than you are getting on this diet. So you do have to have a refeeding day when you do protein-sparing modified fasting. I think that one of the best tools that you can use when you are on a weight loss journey is fasting, intermittent fasting. And you can add intermittent fasting in at your pace. Take your time about adding in intermittent fasting, especially if you have never done it before. You can start with fasting just a little bit more. Start pushing your meals further back. Start eating breakfast later. If you already eat breakfast around 9 o'clock, why don't you push it back to about 11? 11 or 12. And if you do push it back that far, then why don't you just do without breakfast and just have lunch? You can have breakfast at lunch or however you want to do it, but you can actually skip that meal because you're doing fasting and then have your next meal at dinner time. That way you have cut your eating plan from 3 meals down to 2 meals. And that right there is going to save you some calories. It's going to save you some carbs, some fats, and I guess some proteins too. But that's an easy way that you can control weight or that you can have weight loss is by doing intermittent fasting. And as your body gets more used to you doing your intermittent fasting, you're going to have less cravings. You're going to be wanting less food. You're going to be eating less. So all of these are really good benefits and things that you will start seeing a little bit at a time when you just start implementing intermittent fasting into your schedule. Intermittent fasting is probably one of the cheapest ways that you can go as far as losing weight, because what intermittent fasting means is that you are not eating, and then you will be eating at a certain time, which is your eating window. And you can make that eating window as long or as short as you want to. You can give yourself an hour to eat. You can give yourself 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. One of the most popular eating patterns or intermittent fasting patterns that people use is 16 and 8, which means they fast for 16 hours, and then they have an eating window where they'll eat 2 or maybe 3 meals, or maybe just 1 meal during that time, and then the rest of the time they will fast. So intermittent fasting, if it's done correctly, it has many great benefits, and you will start seeing some results from using intermittent fasting. Something that I've been paying more attention to is the way that our body burns fuel. Anytime that you have alcohol, do you know that your body stops burning fat and it starts burning that alcohol? Did you know that alcohol could shut your body down just like that and take away all of those benefits that you're getting? And it will start burning that alcohol first. If you take exogenous ketones, it's going to burn that first or second. If you got alcohol, it's going to get that first. Exogenous ketones are next, and then it's going to go for carbs. And that's something that I have learned since following Maria Emmerich, Maria and Craig Emmerich, that your body first burns alcohol, then it burns exogenous ketones. Do you know what exogenous ketones are? You want your body to operate on ketones, but you want it to operate on ketones that your body produces, not ketones that you take outside your body, out the bottle, powder form, pill form. That's not the kind of ketones that you want your body to use. You want your body to use your ketones. Anytime you take exogenous ketones, which are ketones that you order, pay for, or getting something like that, your body is going to burn those ketones first. It's not going to burn your ketones. It's going to burn those ketones first. The outside ketones, exogenous ketones. The next is going to go for carbs. From carbs, it's going to go to protein and then to fats. So that's the order that your body uses fuel in. So I figured that the easiest way to do it is don't give your body the alcohol, not if you're on a weight loss journey. And if you do, just do it occasionally. Don't do it every day, because you're just going to foil your weight loss plan if you do it every day. Taking exogenous ketones. I believe that there's a time and a place for using exogenous ketones. I don't use them. I never have used them, but I have used the MCT oil, and that does help produce ketones. And your body will burn those first also before it starts burning your own ketones. From there it goes to the carbs. And we all know about carbohydrates. So if you're reducing your carbohydrates and you're not putting any more in, just a small amount, then your body should actually be using protein next. And if you're on a high protein diet, then that's what your body is going to be using for fuel, is your protein, and then burning your fats. And that's what you want it to do. And that's called the oxidative priority. Very interesting, isn't it? The oxidative priority. I think that if you're on a weight loss journey, that you should do some type of research so that you'll know how your body is operating, or different processes to expect, depending on different things that you're doing to your body, different foods that you're putting into your body, and just, different procedures and things. It's really good to know what to expect when you eat, how the body operates, how it processes food. Just to get a general idea, like I said, of what to expect. I took it upon myself to learn more about the ketogenic diet. I took it upon myself to learn more about the protein-sparing modified fast. And I can see where those two things being used together could be some very powerful tools. But you do have to use them correctly, and you do have to use them where you don't injure or hurt yourself, because you can do that. I had a scare, and also my husband, I would say, kind of a scare from using the protein sparing modified fast, because you will lose your electrolytes really, really fast on that fast, because you're not taking really anything in. So if you do that too much, you are going to run into problems with your potassium, your magnesium, your sodium, all of those electrolytes that you need. You can cause problems if you're not replenishing your electrolytes on a daily basis. What I did was go to the vitamin store, like GNC, I believe it was, and I got me, and told them I was doing protein sparing modified fasting, along with keto, and want to make sure I am replenishing my electrolytes enough. And this is what they recommended to me. It's by Body Tech, and it's Electrolyte Fizz, and they have it. It comes in different flavors. I have lemon lime, I have grape, I have watermelon, and I believe I had a raspberry. But these are great little drinks that help replenish my electrolytes. So this is what I'm using now, since I'm doing the protein sparing modified fast. I want to make sure that I am replenishing my electrolytes enough, and you should do the same. If you're doing that protein sparing modified fast, check with your doctor or someone, or just make sure that you are replenishing your electrolytes and keeping your energy up. Okay, and then also something that I was just using occasionally were these trace mineral drops. And I just put a few drops into my water that I was drinking, along with apple cider vinegar, and just a couple of drops of that in the water. And that helped me also as far as making sure I'm getting enough minerals and electrolytes. Very, very important. And this really tastes good. The flavor of it, really, really good. And it has a lot of good things in it. The calories on here are 15 calories per serving, and 3 grams of carbohydrates. But sometimes some carbohydrates are good carbohydrates, necessary carbohydrates. I ain't gotten where I just look at everything and, oh, it's got a carb, I don't want it. But some things you have to have. So, when you have to have what you have to have, then you have to have it. Okay, I hope that I have given you some information that can help you on your keto journey and on your protein sparing modified fasting journey, to be more successful, to stay on point, and to stay focused. I'm going to go ahead and go over the foods that I ate today, and I will see you tomorrow after that is done. I tell you, the cake is really, really good. I am so glad that I took the time to make it. And I am having this morning, breaking my fast, and I'm having it with a cup of coffee, and I am going to really enjoy having something sweet and delicious as this is with my cup of coffee. It's been such a long, long time. I couldn't wait to get up this morning to have a piece of cake with this coffee. This is going to be something that I'm going to do almost on a regular basis. Yes, yes it is. And for breakfast, I had one chicken strip left. So I had a chicken strip with a piece of the cake. And also I had a 93% ground beef patty along with 2 scrambled eggs. These are my electrolytes. This is the Electrolyte Fizz, I believe it's called. and it tastes very good. This is the raspberry, and it tastes very, very good. I went and got this from the vitamin shop today. Now, this is what I gave myself a special treat. After I made the cake, I wanted to have a special treat. I had to really taste it, and I had a little bit of Halo Top ice cream in the refrigerator. And the one carb slice of cake along with ice cream. Here's my meat that I'm cooking in my Instant Pot. And I'm going to use this to make sandwiches for the rest of this week with my protein sparing bread. I've got to make some more of that. I'm out. But this is what I'm going to be having. This with some sandwiches like Philly cheesesteak. And this is on hot. I'm going to have to adjust it in a bit. I'm going to make a nice gravy sauce to go with that. So this is what I have for dinner. This is the steak that I cook. And I cut up some cucumbers, and I had a sugar-free Jell-O. So it was a good meal, and I always use mustard now because mustard has no calories, especially on a protein sparing modified fast day. I know some people don't like to eat a vegetable, but I do eat a vegetable on a protein sparing modified fast day just because of some special conditions that I have that I try to still adhere to while I'm trying to do the diet. Today was a regular keto day with a 16-hour fast. So I really did good as far as eating according to my macros. I had 114 grams of protein. For my fats, I had 42.4, and the goal was 50. My carbs were 10 or less, so I went over on my carbs by 6. My calories were 911, so I did keep those under 1,000. So all in all, I had a good day as far as a regular keto day.